Guys, it's another movie o'clock, and you already know Betha has done the heavy lifting for you. Yes, I have watched the good, the bad. In fact, scratch that. I didn't see any bad movie this week. Every movie I saw this week made so much sense. Like every movie slapped. So you have to this time around because again, it's the weekend, and after the kind of week that we've had, you and I both deserve some type of kickback, just relax and find that one movie, at least one movie that actually slaps. So let me gist you about the ones I saw this week, just in case you haven't seen them.
Ryan Little.
Now, the first movie on my list for this week will definitely be the movie titled Through Her Lens. Yes, Through Her Lens is a movie I saw here on YouTube, and it's on Chini Love Eze TV. Yes, it's been a while I went to that page. Oh my god, I really miss it there. But yeah, I finally did. I saw this movie titled Through Her Lens, and oh my goodness, it starred Kunle Remi. He played the role of Richie. He also starred Etim Effiong. He played the role of Kolade, Lade for short. And of course, we had Princess Obuse, who played the role of Chizi Telum. And can I just say, the character that played the auntie, Auntie Chiwe, it was actually played by Uche Nana. She played the role of auntie. And I promise you guys, she was my favorite character in this movie. I feel like she nailed her script. She ate her script and left no crumbs, guys. Because what? And can I just say that the whole story, it was very soft on the eyes. It felt very real. It felt like the synergy was real. I loved it. The family bond. Of course, it's a family drama, right? It's romance, of course. It talks on abuse. Guys, abuse is actually like the main focus of this movie. And I feel like a lot of people need to see this movie because it is really self-awakening. When you see the movie, you just know that things happen. And to be honest, I would never understand it. But trust me, I'm not going to downplay abuse, and people who have been bruised and battered in, very abusive relationships, but they just don't know how to leave. Guys, this movie, I was upset. I was sad, it just had a mix of emotions. And I can tell you for a fact that, Chini knows what she's doing. The script was everything. I love the script from the beginning till the end. There was really no part where I felt like, oh, the movie was lagging and all of that. It was nice. It was nicely paced. And yeah, the characters delivered. Princess delivered. Like, oh my goodness. In fact, every single person, Auntie Ayo actually played the mother. She played Mrs. Williams. And yes, she delivered. Teresa, who played the role of Faye, Faye happens to be, Lade's younger sister. Guys, I feel like the storyline was just on point. And I loved how the topic was, delivered. I love that, abuse was brought to the forefront, but it wasn't in such a, I don't know, like you see some movies and they're talking about abuse for sure, but you just don't want to end the movie. And that's not the point. You really want to see how it's resolved at the end of the day. And I loved it. Okay, I loved it. I don't know how else to explain it. I feel like you need to see it. Because the truth is, people are in relationships for different reasons. And then it's so scary when, you find someone who is in a relationship. You feel like this relationship is not going anywhere. Everybody else can see the red flags except for the person in the relationship. It's just, there was a lot of manipulations, guys. Let me just say it here. I don't think there's any role I would watch Kunle Remi and then, start disliking him. You know how you see someone in a movie and then you're like, oh, I don't like this character anymore. No. If not like one, I give Kunle Remi, say, in the true person. Kunle Remi is Kunle Remi, He's just that guy, I love him so much. And yes, it was just so nice, seeing him act out the role of, Richie, who was, by the way, very annoying, but yeah, see the movie for yourselves and let me know what you think. All right, now the next movie I saw for this week is titled My Mother's Daughter. Yes, and I saw this one on Uche Jumbo TV here on YouTube as well, and it was different. Like, it was so different from like the movies I have seen in recent times, and I appreciate every single part of that movie. Like, It was really nice. It was totally different. It's a family drama, first of all. It talks on pain, regrets in a family. I don't know if anybody has experienced the pain of just not being appreciated. You do so much for family, you do so much for people, but they just don't see it. And you're not even asking them to reciprocate. We're not even going that far. That's you doing too much. You're just saying, oh, I'm here, I'm trying. Can you at least see that? And it's just so painful when that doesn't happen. And I could totally understand Uche Jumbo's character in the movie, because yes, she was in the movie. And then we also have Auntie Joke Silva in the movie as well. And I was so excited to see her, because it's been a minute since I saw her in a movie, and guys, it's totally worth it. You should actually see it. There's so many people who do not have a good relationship with their parents. Sometimes it could be your mother, it could be your father, it could even be both, in some cases. And it just really hurts when you're trying your best, but it almost seems like your best is just never good enough. But the plot twist at the end, it was really nice. I loved it. Yeah, really nice script. I loved it. I loved the script. Yeah, I actually loved it. It's something you can see with your kids as well, because yeah, teenage youthful exuberances and all of that, it was actually portrayed in the movie as well. So yes, you can see it with your teenage kids and all of that. I'm not saying under what I'm saying, teenage kids. You can see it with them as well. That kind of helps as well. Just seeing how Uche Jumbo's daughter was able to navigate her way as a youth, just trying to find her identity. Now, speaking of identity, guys, I really need to jump quickly into the third and last movie for this week. But I wouldn't do that if I don't end by saying that you need to actually see My Mother's Daughter. Yes, it's on Uche Jumbo TV here on YouTube. The movie has over 1 million views the last time I checked, and it's just been 7 days. She posted it about 7 days ago. Same thing with the first one I mentioned, Through Her Lens. That one has just been about 6 days. And yeah, it's doing well. It has over 700,000 views. But then I do not actually qualify a good movie based on the number of views, because sometimes people just may not know about the movie, may not know about the channel and all of that. So views does not actually equate to quality. Sometimes you have so much views and it's just shitty. I don't know how to explain that. I feel like some good movies don't really get the visibility that they deserve. But I'm glad that I found these 2 movies on YouTube, and I think you should actually see them. Okay? Now, let's jump. Let's take that jump straight to what? Netflix. Yes. Guys, I recently started seeing this movie titled Forever. It's actually a mini series. Now, this mini series is actually an adaptation of Judy Blume's 1975 novel. Yes, and it's high school. It speaks on teenage romance. It speaks on finding identity. Yes, this is why I actually wanted to jump. You know how like kids are growing and they're just really confused. There's a lot of, I don't know what to call it, distractions here and there. A lot is happening. You're trying to find yourself. Just picture secondary school. For me, secondary school was that year for me where a lot was happening. I just didn't understand myself. I just didn't know what I was about. And to be honest, yeah, I can't even say I found myself, because that happened for me in university, not in secondary school. So a lot goes on in that space, and I just loved it, even though I felt so bad for, one of the main characters. Yeah, a lot goes on, guys. Be careful. Don't let anybody record you when you're having intercourse, whether with your husband, whether with anybody. Don't do it, okay? Don't do it. It never ends well. Because yeah, that's what I'm dealing with now in this movie. I literally started seeing it about 2 nights ago, and I'm 2 or 3 episodes in. Again, like I said, it's a mini series, so I can't speak so much about it, but I have started, and so far so good. I love it, and I think that if you love high school movies, and all of that, you will totally enjoy this. Again, it is titled Forever on Netflix, not on YouTube. Yes, I always find a way to, just swing it in. Let me know which ones you've seen from the movies that I mentioned. And of course, if you have recommendations, please feel free to drop them for me in the comment section. And yes, that's all I have for you guys on this particular video. Let me know if you enjoyed watching it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already, and of course I would see you guys on the next one. Okay, bye.